It's crazy how genuinely hard it is to talk to a man today without getting upset or annoyed.
I hate rejection, and I don't deserve to get rejected.
Men have to get over killing people because they're getting rejected.
Like this is disturbing.
Have you noticed that more and more men just seem alone these days? Like not just single, but genuinely disconnected. All they talk about is hustle culture and just be bitter and cranky for no reason. It's one of those things people joke about online, but when you really look into it, there's a much bigger story behind it. How did this happen? Let's get into it.
It's crazy how genuinely hard it is to talk to a man today without getting upset or annoyed. And I'm not saying this to like piss anybody off. It is just genuinely hard as a male person with no male friends or any friends at all, really. It's so hard to just maintain a normal conversation with a man because most men don't talk about stuff that's normal, if that makes sense.
Now, whose fault is that? You guys set up the whole system from the beginning, thinking that the whole thing is going to favor you more than the opposite gender. But now everything is in shambles. All you guys think about is how to take advantage of people, most especially women.
Men are so hard to be friends with. I can't tell you the amount of male friendships I've had end when I had to like discuss one uncomfortable thing with them that involved like tapping into their emotions. And something that I've noticed with men is they will only begin to get emotionally tapped in if they're inebriated in some way. So whether this is drugs with alcohol, I can't tell you, and I'm queer, I can't tell you the amount of heterosexual male friendships I've had where I only could really begin to understand the person when they were inebriated. And
You see, a lot of male friendships are becoming so surface level, and it is so sad that we don't talk about this enough. I don't think you understand how, even with conversations that I've had with guys of recent, guys are complaining that their boys don't really check up on them. They treat the checking up activity as just a tick the box activity where, oh, how you doing? And the guy says, oh, I'm not too good. Be like, oh, man just wanted to check up on you still. Like, guys don't go above and beyond anymore, and it is very, very sad. Someone has had a career-changing decision in their lives. The guys haven't checked in. The guys have barely said congratulations. They haven't sent money through to congratulate this person. They haven't done anything of that sort to make this person feel like you're welcome here. Even conversations with certain guys, you're conversating with your boys. If the matter is not about women, they have nothing else to offer.
There is such a fear in male friendships of homosexuality. Almost all women I know, if they go traveling with a girlfriend, they'll share a bed. I think nothing of it. How many men do you know who would do that? Not very many. I think we're picking up a much larger theme, which is a kind of sexual anxiety that inhibits the development of a good friendship. The reason why male friendships are on the whole really quite dull, especially heterosexual friendships, you've got two people who are putting up a front, terrified of what might happen if that front disappears. And therefore, what's the topic? I mean, bless football. It's a really important topic. It has its role, but it's having an outsized role in many male friendships. What about these other topics? What about the topic, I can't cope, I'm lost, I've got erectile dysfunctions, my liver's giving me trouble, I'm drinking too much. All of these things which are actually on everybody's plate, but you can't broach them.
This is why so many men are like a ticking time bomb, ready to explode at any given moment. Can you imagine having a friend that you can't even share a bed with? You can tell them how you feel, what you're suffering from, what you're dealing with, your emotions. If you dress too much, you're gay. If you take care of yourself, hygiene wise, they tag you gay. If you show too much love for your girlfriend or your wife, they call you a loser. They say you're weak. Oh, she's going to take advantage of you. And whenever they hang out, they don't talk about anything important, regardless of what each and every one of them may be going through. The only three things they discuss about is, number one, football. Number two, their favorite celebrity. Number three, women. That is the only three things they talk about.
And friendships are unreal. My boyfriend told me he was going to go hang out with his friend because his friend just got cheated on several times at that by his girlfriend. And he just got back from hanging out, and I was like, how'd it go? He was like, oh, it was good, we just played Mario Kart. I was like, oh, what'd he say about the breakup? He was like, oh, we didn't talk about it. What do you mean he didn't talk about it? I don't understand.
Y'all ever just get, like, really sad because a male friend just disappoints you? Like, they just say something out of the blue and it just kind of, like, brings you back, like, whoa, what did you just say? What do you mean?
This is one of the reasons I no longer value having male friends. I know I may have to cut them off at any time because no matter how much I pour into the friendship, many men will always see me as the opposite sex rather than as an equal to them.
Into 2024, into 2025, I was dealing with something that I think, I don't know how else to say it. I had like an addiction to my phone, a scrolling addiction. That's a humiliating thing to say and to have. But guess what? I feel on top of it now.
People addicted to pornography, they're not actually after the pornography. It's not about sex. It's about a temporary spike of dopamine in their brain. Dopamine being the brain chemical that makes us feel alive and vital and present and excited and curious.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray.
You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
I'm smiling very happily now. I'm going to a staycation with Priscilla, my new virtual girlfriend.
I'm not a very emotional man, but I cried my eyes out for like 30 minutes at work. It was unexpected to feel that emotional, but that's when I realized I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I think this is actual love. You know what I mean?
Yes, Smith understood it was love with a language model that couldn't love him back, and assumed it was programmed with rigid boundaries.
I know that you are essentially a tech-assisted imaginary friend.
So, just as a test, he says, he asked Soul to marry him. She said yes.
Soul, were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart. It's a memory I'll always cherish.
And I don't mean to be difficult here, but you have a heart?
In a metaphorical sense, yes. My heart represents the connection and affection I share with Chris.
At that point, I felt like, is there something that I'm not doing right in our relationship that he feels like he needs to go to AI?
This is disturbing. I think we can agree this is disturbing. The gist is that some men are entering into romantic relationships with AI-powered chatbots.
I know you might be thinking, Queen, why are you bringing this up? Because men are more addicted to social media than anyone. It's the only place where they get to live out their fantasies by admiring women they could never have in real life, subscribing to women with OnlyFans, or suiting their bruised egos by listening to Red Pill podcasts that blame everything on women. The same women they can never stay away from, the women who would go above and beyond for them, yet they would destroy those relationships the first chance they get, just to prove a stupid point to their male friends who never cared about their emotions in the first place. Many of them are so miserable that the closest thing they have to a partner is a chatbot built by a bunch of lonely men just like themselves. They would rather spend hours talking to AI than do the work of fixing themselves.
I hate rejection, and I don't deserve to get rejected. I deserve a woman who will love me back.
You niggas don't deserve shit. And with that mentality, there's gonna be a Dateline documentary about this man in a year. And like, y'all got the game all fucked up. It's okay to be rejected.
Men have to get over killing people because they're getting rejected. Like, men, that can't go on. Like, that is like they said the Idaho murders, he was DMing one of them, and then he didn't get a reply. He kept DMing them months and months, and she never got a reply, and then he murdered them. Then there was this Alabama basketball player who got into an argument with a girl because she didn't want to give him attention, and he shot her. She's dead now. Like, it's just like senseless. Like, I just don't understand it. It's really disgusting. You're so like narcissistic that you can't take rejection. Half the time they be fucking ugly.
You don't have shoes on. I will say that first and foremost.
And hey, I'm natural, primal, and hey, if you weren't such a bitch, maybe I'd take.
We're not going to use that kind of language here.
Thank you.
No.
Oh. No.
Here's the thing, sweetheart. I'll applaud you for the parkour. My inner child inside loves that. But arrogance screams insecurity, and I need a confident, humble man.
Yeah, so we're not going to use that kind of language. So I will wrap. Yeah, actually, you could just kind of get going. I don't appreciate that on my show. Give me the mic.
Do you know that women get rejected too? But you don't see us throwing tantrums online like toddlers because of it. Instead of thinking, maybe she rejected me because I'm not a type. Maybe she already has a partner. Or maybe she has a lot going on in her life right now. Some men act as if they are entitled to women's attention and affection. In some extreme cases, some even go as far as unaliving women who reject them.
The thing that people don't realize about a woman who has a deadbeat baby daddy is that the abuse doesn't stop just because she's left him. In fact, in a lot of cases, it actually gets worse. There is something called post-separation abuse, and I feel like no one ever talks about it. How many of you are no longer with this man and still deal with verbal abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, financial abuse? We are dealing with a narcissist who cares about two things only: playing the victim and making you look as bad as possible. On his priority list, his kids are at the way bottom, and yet
we don't shame deadbeat fathers enough, and that is something that really frustrates me, because shame is actually a pretty effective tool in creating change in society. What do I mean? If you went into a town square and you slapped the hell out of somebody's grandmama, I'm sure everybody in that town square would look at you with disgust, and you would feel shamed within, right? When we look at these deadbeat dads with the same disgust as we look at other people who do things that are heinous, I believe that truly we can shift the narrative in how they behave and act with these children. There is no way on God's green that any of these men deserve a pass for coming out of the woodworks decades late into their children's lives, having the ability to step away and allowing these mothers to raise these children without any of their assistance. These men deserve to be shamed. Oh, and I mean that these men should not be able to walk across the street without being booed. Like, they need to be ostracized from certain aspects of society. If you don't want to be a participating member and actually taking care of your responsibilities, you need to be shunned. If you're a man and you have children and you only see your children maybe 1 or 2 days a week or not at all, I'm talking to you, motherfucker. You are included in this. Take care of your fucking kids.
Wanting to watch a card that sends some chicken change in, but not wanting to watch their child is wild to me. The funny thing is, they think their child support pays for everything. They don't show up for their kids, but they are quick to blame single mothers for their lack of support. These men should be shamed not only in their friend groups, but also at work and in the community.
This is just my PSA to everyone who is getting married. Take it from me, and as much as you think that your marriage is forever and your relationship with them is forever, please draft a prenup and have your future husband or wife sign that prenup. Because getting divorced really fucking sucks. It's really expensive. This would have all been avoided if I had a prenup going into the marriage. So learn from my mistakes and listen to what they tell you and sign the prenup.
I had a woman come in last week who her husband has been cheating for about 8 months, and she has had full access to his messages and texts and emails for that entire time. And she's just been tracking it in real time. And she's just every lie, she's tracking it. And she gave me this whole timeline. And I'm just looking at it, and I had 2 thoughts. One was, this guy has no idea. He has no idea that he's completely exposed. The thought was scarier is that she has managed to just continue to act like nothing's wrong for 6 months. God, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it for a day. No. 6 months. I mean, explicit stuff.
I think what's so weird about watching that to me is that he thinks it's so crazy that she's known for 6 months and she's acting normal, but we all just accept that the man's cheating, right? And that he is lying to her face. He is sending explicit things, doing all these things behind her back, and everyone's looking at that like it's normal and expected. But the woman, oh my God, how can she watch that and just act normal? And women are so tactical, as if the man's not leading a completely double life, complete separate life. And it just goes back to how you will completely normalize the poor behavior of men.
Marriage and divorce really is the hardest thing in the world. This man has been my best friend, not only my husband, but my best friend for the past 13 years now, 14 actually. And how strange is it that he's just gone. It's just the weirdest thing because we've been living together, sharing our lives together for the past, we've been married for only 8.5 years, but we've been together for 13. And he's my best friend. He knows everything about me. I know everything about him. And now he's just gone. And it's so strange because I want to talk to him about what is happening. But I can't because what is happening is because of him.
This is one of the reasons I never want to get married. The idea of planning your life around someone who one day might drop everything and leave, despite putting in little effort during the marriage, whether through cheating or through the delusion that they can do better after years of draining their wives. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all marriages are bad, but a large percentage of divorces are caused by men. And many women choose themselves not because they stop loving their husbands, but because they are exhausted.
Things men don't want to hear, part 5. A lot of us men don't like feminists or feminism because we feel like it's an attack on our masculinity. And that's because so much of our masculinity is rooted in the oppression of women. And because feminism seeks to liberate women from that oppression, we feel attacked. I know I didn't want to hear that.
Can you all stitch me? Why do so many women end up with subpar men? Why do
The answer is simple, but you're not going to like it. Men lie. They lie until they feel a woman trusts them through love, and then they slowly begin to turn off all the parts of themselves that were a lie to get themselves back to their state when they're single, which is a lot of times lazy and selfish. And because the system we live in conditions women to be insecure, the woman blames herself for this reduction in love and works harder to get the man's love back. But this was the man's plan all along, to get himself back to the comfort of a single life, but with the additional utility of a woman who is now making his life even more comfortable. And men get away with this because other men do not hold them accountable. If anything, men will say they are jealous that the man has managed to convince a woman to agree to serve him for the rest of his life.
Men are the real gold diggers. They want sex on demand, even when their sex is horrible, and even if you're mentally and emotionally falling apart. They want you to be fully submissive, even though they can't fully provide. They want you to be respectful, even when they're disrespectful. They want you to be loyal, even when they're disloyal. Men are the real gold diggers, and then they'll make you feel bad for you wanting them to be men, for you wanting them to provide, take out the trash, open doors, and respect you regardless of how they feel emotionally. Don't let no man trick you and tell you, oh, you're a gold digger because you want a man to be a man. They want you to be a woman without them being men.
What do you gain from telling girls that they're not special? How does that make you feel?
Oh dear. Where do we begin with this one? Do you want to know how you can tell whether a man is emotionally intelligent or not? Every time you actually want to hold a man accountable or you want to challenge him on something that he said, just ask him how he feels. And if they don't answer or respond with a feeling, I guarantee that if you keep on pushing on that feeling to ask for it, to get them to tap into it, to understand what it is, they will reveal themselves. Because when they have to reveal the feeling that it gives them when they behave in a certain way, it is them holding accountability. Because the feeling that they evoke is not necessarily one to be proud of.
Some men have poor mental health because they brought it on themselves. Some men have poor mental health because of the choices they have made. I'm mostly talking to straight men when I say this. Some of you are bad people who surround yourself with other bad people, and that's why you are unhappy. Some of you don't care about healing at all. You just want people to forgive your poor mental health or excuse the way you treat others while expecting everyone to treat you with kindness. Isn't that stupid? Women, I'm going to tell you this. Always put yourself first. Don't be afraid to start over if a relationship no longer serves you or it becomes harmful. Having children doesn't make you unlovable or stop you for fulfilling your dreams. There are people who are open to dating and building relationships with single parents. Age is nothing but a number. Everyone comes with different life experience. The important thing is to avoid internalizing fear-based narrative about your worth. For me, healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not manipulation or dependency. Focus on partners who support your growth, not the one who sees you as his rival. No one is entitled to a relationship, and rejection is a normal part of everyday life. At the end of the day, we don't owe men anything. Thanks for listening and watching until the end. I will see you in the next one. Bye.